Egunon, deizuela, eskerrik asko tartzeagatik.
Good morning. Thank you very much for tuning out for this press conference on the Audience Award for the SGAE Fundación Autor. In very few words, I want to tell our President, Anton Reixa, to take the floor, and we've come here to present the Audience Award. There have been many, we've been doing this for many years now, but we haven't been here in front of you, and for the first time this year we will give the Audience Award, and that's why we've got all the representatives of the top management of the SGAE. Thank you very much, and without further ado, I'll give the floor to Anton Reixa, President of the SGAE. Good morning, everyone, all of you. In the middle of the crisis that we're undergoing and how tough life is, it's good news today that I'm giving you. I'll give you good news because we're at the San Sebastian Film Festival. Movies are being made, they're premiered, the audiences are filling the film theaters, the cinema theaters, and that's the best news that creators and people who love the cultural industry. This year, the SGAE, the new SGAE, comes back to San Sebastian. It recovers its work as in cultural sponsorship, which it shouldn't have abandoned ever, and it sponsors the Audience Award. Please read symbolically that the truth is we're sponsoring the Audience Award. We are convinced that the talent without the audience that gives meaning to the work that is carried out would be a road to nowhere. So therefore it's very symbolic that we had sponsored this section of the Audience Award, which is highly, especially for the younger audiences. All of the large festivals, what they've got is that in San Sebastian is just like Berlin or Mar del Plata, and we are truly proud that we've been able to collaborate with this festival. We're going to continue in San Sebastian. This is just the beginning of our first action. I want to thank José Luis Rebordinos and his entire team to congratulate them for how well they're doing things, and we want to continue favoring dialogue, and we'll continue to do things in the 61st edition of the San Sebastian Film Festival. In a moment that we're undergoing, for example, there's an enormous economic crisis which goes all the way from the cultural VAT tax as well as in the reduction of private consumption of culture, the public aid and subsidies for creators, copyright, which is what's managed by the SGAE, is what's become very important. Copyright is the most clearest way of self-financing that we authors have in order to continue ahead and to safeguard independence and freedom of cultural creation. And that's why more than ever we have to defend the right, copyright rights. So we've got to recover the dialogues with the citizenship. And that's why I give the symbolic value of the fact that we sponsored the Audience Award. And we would like to link to each of the audience that have filled up these cinema theaters, and every vote that someone has issued is a vote in favor of copyright and freedom and the independence of authors' creations and creator. Good news, the newest guy would provoke good news. I'm going to give the floor now to Antonio Netti, President of the SGAE and the Fundación Autor. We've co-sponsored this section, and which has been opened with another essential element for the development of cultural creation, which is freedom of expression. On Monday, we projected the life. This isn't the life of Javier Cray as an objective of freedom of expression. We've recovered it after 5 years, co-produced with Joaquín Trincado and Llewellyn. And we co-produced it from the Foundation of Fundación, and the freedom of expression, talent, and undoubtedly the competition and the complicity of the audience makes it possible that this factory of dreams continues and goes ahead. Hi, good morning. From the Fundación de Autor, we're trying to correct the real estate adventure that we were all involved in the last few years, thanks to the last SGAE directors, until it all came to pieces, and we're specifically going back to its origin, to the foundational origins, where the objectives that were set forth, the creation of the Fundación de Autor was promotion, research, and training with everything that has to do with authors and the Spanish repertoire in cinema, as well as in music, as well as in the performing arts. So this has been left to one side after many years. We waited in favor of real estate. Barbaric things were done, but we're correcting everything now. We're trying to get things along line. We're just like the country, where therefore we're paying a series of interests which are causing a bit of havoc, but we're correcting this now. And at the end of the year, for example, the disinvestment processes that's being carried out will have a repercussion upon the income revenue of 95 million euros. So we'll get rid of that real estate in Mexico and especially in Argentina. And while we organize everything else, that means this will have a repercussion upon the fact that we will be able to continue to progress and sponsor activities like the San Sebastian Film Festival or many other activities that will now be tell us by Inés Paredes, she's the director of the Buñuel Institute, which is the audiovisual side of the Fundación, and therefore we can support authors and creation, cultural creation in this difficult moment that we're going through, where the authors are truly being hit quite hard and hindered. Thank you very much. So let's continue with the good news. The Fundación, despite that situation that quite fortunately we're starting to overcome, of a certain economic tension that slowly but surely is being corrected, it has carried out a twice-fold effort in the audiovisual side of things. Inés Paredes is in charge institutional of the audiovisual things within the SGAE Fundación de Autor, so she can tell us. We're doing several things. Yes, well, hi, thank you, Antonio. Thank you very much for being here. The truth is, I believe that from the Fundación de Autor we can transmit to all the authors is good news, because our idea is to have a deep commitment with authorship and training and development and the promotion of authors, not only in this country and all its nationalities, but from the entire Latin American context. We're developing specific programs that are efficient, hopefully to support authors and their works. We are here in San Sebastian, but we're going to also be in other festivals like the Sitges Film Festival, where we will hand over next week on the 6th of October, the award of new authors. This is directed to young students of the cinema schools in Catalonia. We'll be in the Huelva Film Festival as well, with Latin American authors included in that festival. In October, on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, we will hold a sectorial meeting of a script, quote unquote. The authors are not only going to analyze the current situation, but they're especially make proposals for a dignified future and the development of the profession and the development of good stories, which is very important for any type of film. And whatever happens in this meeting, in comillas, we'll set up a platform so that we can carry out the World Script meeting that will be held in Barcelona in the month of November, and in which the Spanish sector, we want to be spokespersons of the proposals of everyone in the field of script writing. We're also developing a very specific program of advice, counseling and co-production. We're going to finance 15 projects that will be taken to the most important market in the field of co-production, which is the Ventana Sur market. 15 projects will be sent, which will supported by the SGAE Fundación de Autor, in order to help that 15 films, Spanish as well as Latin American, can be carried out and finished. We're going to find co-producers with professors, not only the best specialists, but real producers in Brazil and Mexico as well as in Spain. We are also going to participate and collaborate in the meeting upon telenovels held in Miami in the month of December, and we won't stop there. Therefore, our idea, the truth be said, is to work right next to the authors and for the authors, which is what we want the newest guy to be. Thank you, Inés. We are we're in the audio-visual reference for all of authors. Now I want to give the floor to Miguel Hermoso, who is the Deputy President of the Audio-Visual School in SGAE. And there's also good news that it affects the author unit of audiovisuals. Miguel? Yes. Well, I'm very pleased that the SGAE has turned up to provide good news, because we've heard over the last few years very misconcerting news for the culture, because there's been cuts in all of the budget. So I'm going to give you good news, and the one which is quite most optimistic. Over 10 years now, the SGAE, which is a cross-sectional association which encompasses musicians and authors, dramatic authors, and audiovisual authors as well. 10 years ago, we produced a series of audiovisual authors and filmmakers considered they were being unfairly treated in the SGAE, and they left SGAE and they created a new DAMA, which was another management association. So there for a few years now, well over 10 years now, there's been a misunderstanding or no understanding between DAMA and the SGAE. So therefore the authors felt we're in the situation, especially the new generations who came into the industry, they found the situation that they had to choose between two different management associations, which were apparently confronting each other. But the good news now is that that confrontation is finished. There is a new convergence. We've gotten together several times, the managements of DAMA and the SGAE, and we have seen that we've got many more points in common than differences. This is a road that has to be gone down over the next 2 or 3 years, but we've got very good perspectives, and we've even got joint fora in which we're going to participate in. And this, at an authorship level, is an excellent piece of news. And that, I think, I've put a light at the end of the tunnel in this morning. And thank you, Miguel. Another piece of news that affects the democratic participation, the horizontal participation of all authors, and I'm very pleased that my friend, member Angelina Raminde, a visual musician and Basque 100%, who is going to tell us how our decentralization process is working. Hi, good morning. All good news. So therefore, what we're saying is that we're all together in the SGAE, that we're all very happy in the novel situation that we're encountering. I'm saying good news, very good news, because we're really good, because everything is bad news. We're the only one. We've got to come here more often because we're always providing good news. So therefore, within this SGAE, how shall I say, there's all of us, we're all authors, so therefore what we've got to do is that make sure we should all build our own house, and in that sense we're going to decentralize, and that means that in the Basque country, and there will be a commission, we'll set up a commission where decisions can be made, that we can get together and meet, and let's hope we can have a barrel of chacolí so that they can encourage things and liven things up, and I believe that's a very good piece of news as well. And I think we'll let Ines talk, because you got a marvelous voice, Ines. Why don't you talk? You speak much better than me. Let's give the floor to our friends. Well, basically what Angel is saying is that in December we set up the first territorial councils in the SGAE. There will be a territorial council here in the Basque country of SGAE, so therefore we're going to gain a lot vis-a-vis participation of the Basque members in our association, and we're going to gain a lot in efficiency of our organization in the Basque country. We're here to answer whatever questions you want to ask, or whatever you may require.
Galderarik balego mesede.
Okay, if there are any questions, if you don't mind, please tell me from what newspaper or journal or whatever media you come from. I think we did a bit of everything sounds good, and we've done a good piece of propaganda here. Okay, well, okay, thank you very much. You are We summon you to the divine mission, not of defending the SGAE, but defending the authors and the authors' rights, which is the base of the independence of all authors. Thank you very much.
Oye, hagámonos una foto delante de este, que no tengamos que tuviéramos esto.